All right. Welcome to another episode of the Real Shot 256. This is Evening Crypto. And tonight we want to talk about the whole altcoin season topic and kind of go over that, give you my thoughts as to where we are at in regards to altcoin season, if you still care about that. And also, let's talk about the talk of the town, right? A lot of people are talking about whether traditional markets and crypto markets are actually correlated with each other. So let's get into a little bit of that and find out what this channel thinks about the whole conversation around that. If you are new to crypto, if you are new to Bitcoin, you'll definitely enjoy this episode, I believe. If you are a more seasoned individual in the crypto sphere, and you want to move forward to the TA portion of things, definitely fast forward about 5 or 7 minutes, and you'll find the TA section at the tail end of the video. But let's get into it. Let's do a just a recap of the complete entire market cap. We're sitting at 266 billion, trading about 53 billion in the last 24 hours, and Bitcoin dominance staying above 69%, or at the 69% at the current moment. Current price, according to CoinMarketCap, is 10,270 at the current moment. So let's get into the altcoin season topic and kind of go over that and see what we think. What I'm showing you right here is this is Bitcoin based on the Binance chart on the 1 day, and then we have also the crypto market cap, Bitcoin dominance, as reported by TradingView. And what I wanted to show you in regards to the altcoin season is, a lot of people are saying, yeah, hang on. I mean, a lot of people around all sorts of social media channels are calling for you to hang on to your bags, for you to, this is the last push, keep holding, you're honorable hodler, you shouldn't, you should hold strong, and if you sell, these are typically signs of a weak hand type of trader, and you're not really in it for the long haul. I'm here to tell you that that's all bullshit. Really, it really is, and you should not be listening to that sort of advice. One, there's opportunity costs, right? You could be in something that is performing or outperforming any other asset as of 2019, which is Bitcoin, and also you're partaking in something that has been depreciating and just eating away at your money. So if you say you started with $1,000 at the peak of 2017 or early 2018, you're probably down about 70, 80%, maybe 90% in some instances. And my question to you is, again, why would you invest in something like that? Why would you keep your bags in something like that? So do not listen to the people that are telling you that altcoin season is coming right around the corner. I don't see it, and you can see it in this chart here, going back to 2017 or early 2018, where Bitcoin dominance was pretty high back in the that big rally up to 20,000, and we do see the Bitcoin dominance kind of come down along with the price of Bitcoin here. Kind of it obviously is positively correlated here. Price is coming down, so is the dominance in the market cap. And then we do see an uptrend, for the short term of things, obviously, and then we do see another dip, right? And we do see an inverse correlation here start to form here, where the price of Bitcoin is falling. Also, the altcoins are falling all throughout this time. The altcoins are also falling through. While this is going on here, this downward consolidation here, and then we see that Bitcoin dominance actually started to tick up from down here at about 36%. Actually, it's I'll call it about 36% down here, which was the low in 2018, and back up to, what is this here, about 50% right at this peak here, where the price of Bitcoin was falling. Altcoins were also falling, and a lot of people started to hedge using Bitcoin as a hedge in the cryptocurrency markets. And also a reason why a lot of times we were able to hold on to these low prices here, because again, people were hedging into Bitcoin from altcoins back into Bitcoin, as opposed to what was going on at some point where people people were buying Bitcoin to get into altcoins, right? We know about that. That was a given. That's something that was definitely happening back in 2017, early 2018. But then we start seeing a shift, right? We start seeing a change in the mentality of investors going back into Bitcoin and seeing this sort of a negatively correlated trends here. And then we do see the price of Bitcoin actually recuperating and people actually getting a little bit more confident with their altcoin bags and going back into that, but only short-lived, right? Because as we see, once the price of Bitcoin actually started dropping even more, we do see the Bitcoin dominance chart just going up steadily, up and up and up and up and up. And then, once we found the bottom here back in early 2018, actually late 2018, I'm sorry, right at this peak here, we do see here Bitcoin also topping out here or you could call this a double top, but actually topping out for a little bit and then taking a breather, but then actually coming back up again. And we're now sitting at about, close to 70%. It's at one point about 71.36%, according to CoinMarketCap. So if you take a look at this chart here altogether, you'll see that in order for us to see a possible altcoin season. Now, if you've been following this channel, you know that I have been preaching to you guys that there was no such thing as an altcoin season. The reason being is because when when Bitcoin was running up to its all-time high of 20,000 back in late 2017, we also saw altcoins running along with it, par to par almost. I mean, obviously some altcoins were outperforming Bitcoin. However, they were all on an uptrend. Everything was going up at the same time. So that's not an altcoin season. That's all parity. That's all just being the market being correlated within the crypto assets, right? Every crypto was going up. You threw a dart at the board, you would make about 50% gains over the span of, say, a month. I mean, you didn't have to be a trader, experienced trader. You just threw something at the board and it would stick, right? So that was the fact. That was exactly what was going on back in 2017, early 2018. Fast forward a few months, everything starts going down, including Bitcoin. We capitulate here at late 2018, and then from that point, really the only couple of coins or a few coins that have been running is you could say Ethereum, Link, Litecoin, obviously, and some others. XRP definitely has not followed in the this run up all the way to the yearly high 14,000 for Bitcoin. A lot of coins just staying stagnant or continuing to actually deplete. So it just, I can't emphasize this enough. When you hear this sort of nonsense of people telling you to hold on, that we're around the corner, that we're going to make it through, and we're just so close to turning that corner. Again, we are on an uptrend as far as Bitcoin dominance goes. We haven't seen these levels of dominance in so long. Let's actually switch to the Bitstamp Bitcoin chart here, because we do get a little bit lengthier coverage here. Well, it's probably not going to show us. Yeah, this line is just staying stagnant. But what I want to say to you is that back in those days when maybe we can get it actually after. Yeah, probably not. Let's see what was the number here. It's about 70%. I mean, we'd have to go back quite a bit. This peak here was 75%. So, back in July 2017, this is, and the further back we go, the less crypto projects you can count. This is 94% back in February 2017, right? Right around 94%. 95%, 94% back in 2017. Early 2017, until again all of these ICOs started popping out into the scene thanks to Ethereum and Vitalik Buterin. And then that's when you started seeing this whole altcoin craze. But again, there's several reasons why the altcoin season is not coming back. The ICO craze is over and done with, but there will be no ICO season again. because of regulation, the SEC stepping in and actually regulating all the ICOs and all these new projects that are trying to come out, making them so where if a new project is launched, now we do see the SEC granting so to say a green light to two new projects that have actually come out onto the scene here lately, and just really dismantling what a crypto project is supposed to be, a decentralized, blockchain, immutable blockchain that is, you know, definitely 100% decentralized, such as Bitcoin. Then these projects look, by the time they're actually being granted a green light from the SEC, look nothing like a Bitcoin per se or a Litecoin project type of deal. So not really a crypto project. Maybe it'll work for like rewards programs or something like that, but not really a cryptocurrency or a crypto project by the time it's all said and done. So going back to my argument about this, we are still on an uptrend where Bitcoin is trying to regain those prior all-time highs as far as Bitcoin dominance to where we were back in early 2017, 2016, where we were at above 90% dominance, market dominance. We're ticking up there. I mean, we're still in an uptrend, and unless we see a dramatic, downturn here or a change in trend, then you could start thinking about, okay, maybe there's an altcoin season. But there's all that talk is way premature, is what I'm trying to say. Way premature. I mean, this trend is telling you that there is no altcoin season coming in nowhere in sight. So again, when you hear that, just know that these people probably have their own bags that they're holding for a long time, and they're getting heavier and heavier as time goes on because of the appreciation of value, and they just desperately want something to change with that regard. So don't listen to that. The information's out here, and you can clearly see that we are not headed into a altcoin season. In fact, all the opposite. We're heading further and further away from such. Now, down the line, what I think is going to happen is we're going to continue to see this go up, and we are going to continue to see a lot of projects drop off the map and actually disappear from the crypto sphere, and until we have sort of a consolidation of the actual projects that are actually working on something, the ones that have proven to the market that they have some sort of utility and that they have some sort of purpose for the future of cryptocurrency and blockchain. The others that don't, unless they have a massive following, such as XRP, such as Link, Link is actually serving a very useful purpose in the market. But things like Dentacoin, things like Dogecoin, these sort of projects that, just kind of are sitting there, not really trying to do anything, not really trying to solve a problem. These are the type of things that you should definitely stay away from. And I've always told you guys in this channel, stick to top 15, top 25 coins. One, they will have liquidity. Two, they probably have proven some sort of utility to the market, and that's why they're actually sticking around. But even venturing out to like top 25 is a bit riskier, right? Remember, we are in crypto markets. Total market cap of crypto is only 266 billion, a quarter of a trillion, and so liquidity is still pretty low. Once we see these markets mature, then and if you still see the same top 25 projects in the market, maybe gathering more of the market share and are actually worth a bit more, like Bitcoin's worth at the current moment 183 billion, Ethereum is only worth 20 billion, XRP 11. I mean, there's such tiny market caps or such low cap projects that it's hard to find liquidity in these things, right? So if you are new to crypto and trading, that's why I always tell you guys to stick with top 10, top 15, and maybe top 25. I make the exception, as you know here, in this channel to link, just because it's been outperforming pretty much everything in the market. But still, I mean, it's still, you know, number about 17, 18 in the 19, fell to 19 in the whole scheme of things. Currently trading at 205, right, from its all-time high at like $3.50 or something like that. So I mean, look at the top here. What was the top? We're still looking at link. Here we go. So chain link. Actually, we need to get rid of this guy here. $4.58 was the all-time high, and it has since given back over 50% of its gains. So this is the sort of thing you have to watch out here when you're going into trading. 55%, right? When you're trying to trade these sort of markets, right? Pay attention to these things. Be aware that these sort of things can happen. You know, people tell you to just buy and hold, buy and hold. Well, I mean, if you bought up here, you should have sold a long time ago. Again, going back to the whole Bitcoin dominance argument, we see that, you know, it's still in an uptrend, right? So there's no end to that in plain sight. So yeah, don't see that happening anytime soon within the crypto markets. If you guys disagree with me, if you guys think I'm full of shit or whatever the case may be, if you think that there's something I'm missing or not seeing, you know, be specific. Leave it down in the comments and tell me, share with the community what you think is going on in the crypto spheres in regards to the altcoin season. The other thing I want to talk about tonight is the whether there is any sort of correlation between crypto markets and traditional markets. And for that, I actually wanted to bring in the S&P, as it is one of the top representatives of what the traditional markets are doing. There we go. See if we can make it. There we go. All right. So, I mean, after hitting this all-time low here, Bitcoin actually reached for its all-time low for 2018, prior to the S&P actually bottoming out here. And then they both, although in a more dramatic fashion, the S&P has actually recovered quite excuse me, quite nicely since it bottoming out in December 2018 as well. Bitcoin bottomed out December 17th, while the S&P bottomed out the Christmas Eve, right? I think we all remember that. I certainly remember that last Christmas Eve, where Bitcoin or the traditional markets also happened to bottom out right after Bitcoin did. Of course, we didn't know that at the time. We thought that maybe there was continuation to the downside, and I certainly was not convinced that was the bottom myself. But anyway, we do see a more dramatic recovery from the traditional markets, the S&P, and the same sort of chart can be seen in also the Nasdaq and, you know, many other tickers that you can plug into this thing and just see the same sort of chart where there is an upward momentum. Yeah, there is a correction here back in June 3rd, 2019, but then again recovery, and then we've been sideways trading here after this slight correction here, and just some sideways consolidation here due to mainly Trump's trade wars with China. So I mean, it's a more dramatic but steady, also, you know, upward momentum here, and then we do kind of see Bitcoin just kind of sleeping after bottoming out, and just kind of, you know, a lot of sideways boring trading, not much happening really up until this point here in April, where there's a few things going on. The consensus infamous conference, which historically, I don't know if consensus actually went out and did this on purpose, where they scheduled their conferences right at the beginning of April, where historically Bitcoin has just been performed really well. If you look back at you know, several years, if you look at April price action, you'll see that there's been plenty of action to the upside in past years in the month of April. So I don't know if that is a coincidence, or consensus actually planned that whole thing out so that it would play out this way, and then people can say, oh, we are waiting for the consensus pump, and that is an actual thing in the cryptosphere, the consensus pump, right? People know about it. People who've been here long enough know that there's usually a pump in April. Um, so is there a correlation? Yeah, I mean, somewhat there is, but they're not always correlated. And we do see here where they both bottomed out here, so there's a little bit of correlation here. But then Bitcoin just having just a dramatic run up to its all-time high at almost 14,000, while the S&P is just kind of doing some sort of sideways but upward trending, until it's reaches is this high here at well, according to the ETF here. Um, actually, let's get rid of. Actually, let's go to this chart. This will show us a lot better. So the high of 17. Why is it doing that? That's why. High at $302.34, right? This will tell us here. Yeah, 302.23, right? So is there correlation? I would say that it's it's not 100% correlated. And now brings up another point, right? With the trade wars with China and what we've seen in traditional markets, going back to the S&P here, we see clearly there's a reaction to what Trump to Trump's battles with China and the global economy. We do see it reacting to that. Now, here's the biggest question in my mind, and the thing that we've all been waiting for as far as Bitcoin goes. If you're an OG, if you've been around for a long time, if you have done the research and know kind of why Bitcoin was created and how it came about, then you would see this, and you may or may not agree, but you would see this as the ultimate test, right? This is the time where the world and every crypto enthusiast, every Bitcoin enthusiast gets to find out whether the experiment actually worked or not. So if you get something out of this video, this is what I want you to walk away with. This is the question, and I would love for you guys to actually comment down on the video, on the comment section. Actually comment down here on this video. If you're catching this video off of your social media group that you follow, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it may be, I don't want you to leave the comment in the Facebook group. I want you to leave the comment down here in this video so we can keep this chat going here on this video in one place. Let me know, do you think that this is the actual test? I mean, in my eyes, this is the ultimate test. This is what we've been waiting for, because we keep saying that it's a non-correlated asset to traditional markets. We keep saying that Bitcoin was created to hedge against this sort of thing, to manipulation, to corruption of traditional markets and politicians and government and all this sort of nonsense, right? So this is the time, this is the hardest thing that Bitcoin will have encountered in its 10-year long life so far. It has not been tested to this point. So in my eyes, the question is, will Bitcoin actually survive what's going on, the trade wars? Now we have Trump calling for QE, quantitative easing, printing more money, devaluating the dollar. We see China devaluating their yuan. We see New Zealand. We see what's that country? Sweden, Australia. We obviously saw Venezuela, now Argentina following, Zimbabwe. All these economies that are just tanking. And this is the test that I think we've all been waiting for. Is Bitcoin going to serve that purpose for which Satoshi Nakamoto invented crypto, Bitcoin? Let me know what you guys think. This is the time. I am just sitting here waiting to see what's going to happen. Is Bitcoin going to take off? Are people going to realize and flock away from traditional markets and fiat currencies into something that, anybody within the crypto sphere is going to tell you this is sound money because it is deflationary as opposed to inflationary. This is a sound money system that will replace fiat eventually, right? Well, this is the first test, and it's going to be the biggest test. Although, everyone or all those 51% attacks on the Bitcoin blockchain have failed. However, that is not the biggest test. We know that Bitcoin is test proven as far as that goes. The robustness of the Bitcoin network has stood the test of 51% attackers, hackers, time. Bitcoin has up to this point proven that it is a solid monetary system, a peer-to-peer monetary system. That's not the question here. The question is, will it survive a recession? Will it stand the test that is coming to it? There is an imminent recession, global recession at that to me seems inevitable. Whether that's going to happen in a year or two, I really do think it's coming within the next year or two. I really do think we're going to see traditional markets, fiat currencies, take a huge hit, and be really tested like it hasn't been tested in a very long time. Will it actually serve the purpose? In my opinion, what I think it's going to be a very difficult test. We even see gold we saw gold. Let's actually get rid of this now and bring up the gold chart let's look at the weekly here. Let's look at this here. December 15. So actually this one's not really doing it justice. Let's actually look at this guy here. No, this is not the right one. And this goes to show you guys that a lot of this stuff is improvised. A lot of this stuff is just, as we go about these videos. It's actually gold ETF. There we go. A good one to show. So back in 2008, right, we saw gold go down about 33 or 34%, right? And gold is supposed to be a worldwide hedge for any investor, right? Especially those who've been those who've been around for a while know that when you want to hedge or when you want to de-risk a little bit off of your your equities portfolio, then to turn to gold. And we see that even gold took a huge hit back in 2008 when the last recession hit. So is Bitcoin going to be a hedge? Quite possibly that could happen. Not saying that it won't. But if you see that gold has been around for centuries, and namely people will savvy investors will flock over to gold as a hedge, is it going to be the same sort of scenario for Bitcoin? Are people going to flock over to Bitcoin as a hedge? That is the biggest test. Again, that is what we've been waiting for. And we do see that traditional people do switch over to gold, and we still see a big dip in gold dipping down about 33, 34% back in 2008 during the last crisis, financial crisis. I think Bitcoin is going to react very, very similarly. Although I would expect a bigger dip than what gold saw, because again, this is nascent technology. This is a new monetary system. Not a whole lot of people are aware of Bitcoin. I mean, there is, but there. I mean, people. There's a difference between people hearing about Bitcoin and people knowing what Bitcoin is. There's a huge, huge difference there. And so, the people who actually know and understand it is a very small amount, right? There's about 100 million different 100 million different original wallets in the entirety of the crypto market. About 100 billion. That is nothing compared to if you look at gold, if you look at traditional markets. So I think when it comes down to it, when it really matters, and we do get into this recession, I think we're going to see Bitcoin being badly hurt. I do think that I hope that I am wrong, and some of you will probably be very pissed at me for saying that, but that's my opinion. You, as I said, please leave it down in the comments and let me know what you guys think. If you think Bitcoin will actually sustain and Bitcoin will actually thrive under this sort of pressure, let me know and leave some reasons why. Let us know why you think that. Right. So that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about fundamentally. I know that was more than 7 minutes. So sorry about that if I went too long. Let's actually do a little bit of TA now and start talking about what we've seen in the last week or so. I actually had to take a short break from these videos. I celebrated a birthday recently, and so I took a little bit of a break. So coming back now, energized, although it is Monday and it is kind of taking its toll already. So we'll try to keep this section shorter and just give you our thoughts on what has been going on lately. So let's get right into the TA side of things. We'll take a look at some other altcoins as well. And if I do miss your favorite altcoin or project, definitely let me know. Put it down in the comments. Also, if you're getting something out of this video, please like it and share, and also subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get the notifications when I do put out new content. So we did see this sort of bear flag play out, right? We saw the bear flag actually forming here last week, and then it actually played out, right? We do see Bitcoin trading in this sort of upward trend, but then actually playing out this bear flag scenario here. But then we actually see that I left that here from our previous videos. If you want to go back and look at it, you can do so. That was about last week or so. And then we do see sort of the same scenario on the micro trend, right? We do see sort of the same thing here. Here's our staff to the downside, and then we do see here kind of flagging out here. Right, so we did see that bear flag forming. We also see it again here, another sort of bear flag forming here. So if this plays out again like it did right here on the previous time on this here, then we could expect to move down again towards about 9,400. Actually, let's put a measured move on this. And holy moly, this stuff works, right? So yeah, about 9,400. Once we break out of this formation here and actually play out the bear flag, then that would be our expected move. If we actually break up, which, I mean, we've seen crazier things happen. Not saying that it would, but the likely scenario is that it breaks down, not breaks out. Then we run into this previous point of resistance here at about 11,255. 11,275. We'll leave it at that, and then Bitcoin will actually face plenty of resistance right around that area between 11,250, 11,275 if we actually end up breaking out, and then right after that we do have another area of plenty of support that we've seen Bitcoin actually retest a few times and actually fail to get above it. like we did see here back here. We tried to get it back above it, and then we actually lost it and came back down to previous lows, right? So I do think the more likely scenario is this here, where we would again come back and retest this previous low at 9,300, 9,350, actually 9,400. My bad, 9,400, right? Would be the next area of support, and then right underneath that, where we wick down and kind of reached, would be about 8,900 or 9,000. Right, these are the next two areas of interest, and I am looking for that to be the more. Again, I'm leaning more 60-40 to the downside. I do think we have plenty more downside to go. Um, in the shorter term of things, we do still see that this previous trend line. This is the more macro trend, right? This was the bull flag that we formed a while back, going back to early June this year, early summer, which, although we didn't reach above it, we got back within that formation here. And if we continue on this way, so this resistance doesn't look right to me. I'll be honest with you guys. It doesn't look right to me, mainly because we popped above it and we haven't been respecting it at all. We just kind of been all over the place along this line here. So it's not really playing a valid line of resistance to me there. So I'll definitely say that. But we could definitely see another retest of this bottom line here. And if it holds, then we could say that this bottom line of resistance here is actually valid. Okay, that is one way to look at it. That is one way to look at it. If we do come back and retest these previous areas, even if we come back and retest about 70, 100 and bounce off of there, then we know we're still respecting this bear flag. And we would know that, I'm sorry, this bull flag, and we would know that eventually, once this plays out, this is kind of what we would expect. Come back and retest this area here around 12,700, 12,800, which kind of coincides with this local top back here at around 12,500, right? So sort of coincides. Actually, adjust it a bit here. There we go. So yeah, it would coincide with about 12,500, 12,600, right? So again, if that is one way to look at it, we'll leave that here for the time being, and then let's actually let's actually, because I do want to show you a different scenario here. Where is, come on, there we go. All right, so leave that there. Okay. Actually adjust this. All right, so there we go. Okay, we can also definitely see that from this point, respecting this line of support, this point respecting it, coming back and retesting it, but actually respecting it, and we've actually come back down to retested several times this ascending line of support. So this is also can be valid, right? Actually, let's get rid of this. Maybe it looks a little bit clearer. And let's also get rid of this. So okay, so we see this massive triangle, ascending triangle forming, or a wedge if you want to call it that. We see this massive formation here, and then we also see it's getting pretty full here. So what we can actually expect is once we get to about, I want to say about this point right in here, right about September 9th, what is it, September 4th. So the first week of September, we're going to definitely be filling out this formation here and actually having a move play out here. So if we do just say we break out right around this first week of September, September 8th, right? This is something we could expect, right? If it breaks out of there, about 14.9, so 15,000, right? If it breaks up, which these formations traditionally end up breaking out, not down. I mean, traditionally, right? This is the crypto markets, and anything can happen. Now, if we do break down, once we get to about first week of September here, then we could come back and retest. This could be this, and it doesn't mean that it's going to happen in one day. This could actually be a downward trend. And again, we do have a trending line coming down here. Let's actually bring it back and because I do think it could become relevant again, right? We could see it just kind of play along the line of support down here and just come back and eventually hit this bottom move here at about 6,000. Right off the bat, if you hear $6,000 Bitcoin, what? You're probably doing this guy's full of shit, right? Well, crazier things have happened in the crypto markets. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I'm not calling for a $6,000 Bitcoin. That's not what's going on here. I'm just telling you this is the possible scenario. If this is true formation, if this is what we're doing right here, which is darn looks like it, this could be the measured move. This could be the actual playing out. You didn't say anything when I said, we could possibly go to 15,000. You didn't say anything then, but then you probably thought, oh, this guy's full of shit when I said, oh, we're going to go back and retest 6,000, right? Well, both scenarios are equally possible in cryptocurrency space. So that's why you have to be very careful when trading these sort of assets, and yeah, just do your own diligence, do your research. Don't just take my word for it. I actually consult with several traders, and I do have my own analysis. I do use my own tools. Some people like to use Elliott waves. Some people like to use fractals. I don't use any of that. I do EMAs, RSI, as you see down here. Also look at volume, look at trends, and again, everybody has their own style. I would actually do some research. You guys can check out Crypto 99, who Theo is a great guy. He actually does TA based on Elliott wave. He's a great guy, very knowledgeable. Crown Crypto Cave. My style of trading is more like his, so I like to watch his style of trading a lot more, because again, it coincides with what I know, and I've known back from my traditional trading days, traditional markets, back when I had my 6 and 63. There is other people like the Traveling Trader. He's also a very knowledgeable guy. Also uses trend lines and EMAs and SMAs and RSI. I think he also uses the what is this other indicator called? God, the name escapes me. I don't use it very often. Geez, the name escapes me right now. But if I think about it, I'll actually can share with you guys. But his name's Traveling Trader. That guy is actually pretty good. I would recommend that you guys go and check out his channel. The MACD is what I'm trying to. I don't usually work off the MACD. There's people who use the Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands are actually, they're a bit useful. Actually, let's bring them up here and just let's see what they are telling us here. Let's see, indicators. Why is that not working right now? Let's switch to a different chart. Add an indicator. No, it's not gonna let us do that, is it? I don't know what's going on with my trading view. It's been acting kind of funky. Yeah, it's not going to let me do it. Sorry, but it's not that important. Bollinger Bands, they're sort of a thing, but there's different styles of trading. There's different techniques. You guys can use what actually works for you. I actually find this to be very useful to me, using EMAs, RSI, trend lines. What you see here, I find that to be very, very useful in my trading. And and I can do also a lot of plenty of I can actually get and I also use the Fibonacci extension retracement tool. That is also a great tool to use. These are all things that are there for your just for your use and learning. I do plenty of TA 101s. If you guys want to go back and watch some of my previous videos, you guys can learn how to use those tools, or you can deal with down in the comments, leave any questions. I have told you guys in the past that I don't. You know, if you need any help with these sort of things, definitely reach out to me. I am on Twitter at the Real Shot 256. You can leave it down here in the comments or reach out to me via direct message. I am on Instagram again. And just reach out. Let me know. I don't charge for these things. If you here's another great point that I should tell you guys about. Plenty of people out there advertising how they're going to help you improve your trading. Pay me $9,000. I just saw that. I mean, I'm not kidding. I just saw this on Twitter the other day where a guy was asking for $9,000. He would give you a personalized session, and you know, just you know, teach you how to trade. Well, guys, if you think you need to pay somebody um, just out of the blue, or somebody from crypto Twitter or Facebook or YouTube, guys, I'm here to tell you there's a lot of good resources out there on how to learn and how to trade, what strategies, something that'll definitely fit your style, and you don't have to pay for this stuff. And if somebody's telling you, hey, you know, pay me, I'll teach you, I would run the other way. I would run the other way. Um, there's so much information out there. It's all at your fingertips. Just do a little bit of research, and you'll find the answers pretty much to everything you're looking for. So again, I've never thought of myself as anybody who would charge for that sort of thing. So if you need any help using any of these tools, definitely leave it down below. We can chat or connect however you want, and we can talk about this sort of thing. All right, so let's actually look at XRP. XRP just, yeah, I mean, it broke this line of support back here, and once it did that, you know, I gave you guys some measurement move or measured moves here for XRP. If you look back again, a week or two ago, I did a video letting you guys know, and actually drew these lines of support, these green lines of support, letting you know these are the key areas of support where we're looking for a bounce, or where we're looking for XRP to reach down to. And look at that, it did actually break down and reached down to this area of support here, and has been respecting it and actually trading in this channel now. Although we do see here a bit of a small triangle here on the micro trend, micro side of things, and so we could see that you know, a little bit more sideways, but then we're going to see a move up or down, either direction. My take would be that, since I do think that Bitcoin is actually going to reach for lower prices in the micro trend of things, I do think that that's not Bitcoin, that's BNB. I do think that we have a little bit more downside to go here, unless we are respecting this triangle and not this bull flag here. I do think we could see Bitcoin come back and retest this area here at, what is it, 9,800. Come back and retest that area, and if we do that, then I do think XRP is going to get hit again. Now, here's the scary part. Sorry, XRP army. If we do actually break down below it, look at this previous area of support. This is what I'd be looking at, about 19 cents as the next area of support here. Right there, about 1985, right? 19 cents, right? And this would be, let's switch that to green so we know that is a support line. Okay, that is where I'd be looking for the next move on XRP. And then you can play a bounce, certainly. Play a bounce like you know, hopefully you did here. Once it wicked down and actually came back and had a really nice bounce. Actually, let's put a small measurement here from this line of support to the top of this wick there. So about 15% bounce. I mean, that's not a bad play. So if again, Bitcoin should seek the high 9,000, low $10,000 level again, and then we should see XRP actually break down and maybe retest this 19 cents price range here, and then play a bounce off of that. That's what I'd be looking at. Pretty safe bet. BNB has been, you know, been kind of following what Bitcoin has been doing. Although we do see here more of a clear bull flag here. Right, more of a clear, more defined bull flag here. And if we do actually play this out, you know, could be looking at a retest of almost the prior high at $36.75. So let's actually draw a line of resistance right here. We're actually going to leave that there for a while, so that we come back and reassess, or come back and take a look at what's going on here with these coins. We can use it as a reference point. Let's take a look at Link. Actually, so if Bitcoin goes down, and I do think BNB is going to come back down and actually reach down to the bottom of this support line here, which, you know, could potentially come back and retest $19. You might think it's a far stretch, but, you know, I don't. It seems like it's trading within this channel here. Actually, it seems like it would be a bit tighter here. So, I mean, I do think this. Let's readjust this. I do think I need to do a little bit slight adjustment there. Okay, there we go. Still within the $36 range for the high, but then, you know, we could come back down and retest this previous area of support here at around $20.05, right around there, $19, $20, as the previous area of support there. Again, especially if Bitcoin does decide to reach down again and retest the $9,900, $9,800 range. That is to be expected. Let's look at Link real quick. Link's not looking so hot right now. It is testing this previous area of support. Let's actually get rid of this guy for now. So we actually did a chart here, and look at that. I mean, as a point of reference, you guys can go back again about a week or two. I drew this line. That was my target, and I told you guys, look, that was my target, and it hit, right? You guys can go back and if you want to verify what I'm telling you, go back and you'll see where I drew this chart here, giving you guys this target price where Link was going to come back and retest $2.37. It actually did, and then it broke down, and look at it, it's almost done with the move. I do think we're going to come back and retest about $1.80, and then definitely see a bounce from there. But it looks like it actually wants to do it. It wants to finish this move, right? Told you, if it breaks down, then this is the expected move. $1.80. It looks like it wants to do it right now, actually breaching this area of support here at $2.05. It's currently at $2.03. It does look like it wants to keep coming back down and finally retest the $1.80. So these sort of things, I mean, I'm putting it out. I'm putting them out there for you guys, so you'll have some you know, reference as to what could be happening, right? Again, you guys can go back and confirm that if you want. All right, let's see. Litecoin looking very scary. We actually breached this area of support here that had been acting as support for a very, very long time. I do think we're going to see continuation. We have broken this, especially if Bitcoin does again reach back down. I do think we're going to come back and retest. There's a solid area of support right here. So this is the next area where I'm looking for Litecoin to have right here. Litecoin to have a bounce. Let's actually change this to green, so you guys know that it is an area of support. God, if I could get this thing right. There we go. All right, so that'll be the next area of support right here at 67.50. We'll call it that, 67.50. Okay. Let's actually do that again, so you guys know that's my. All right, that's good enough. 67.75. All right, that's my next target. I'll leave that. I'll leave that as, you know, I'll leave this chart here for you guys to look at in the future if you want to come back and revisit that. Um, that'll be there for you guys. All right, it does look like in the shorter term of things, it does look like that's what's going on, especially looking at the RSI here in the bearish control zone. Doesn't look like it wants to get out of this zone here. So I do think it, again, this scenario does look very, very likely. And again, as long as Bitcoin remains in the same posture, I do think, or actually dips down, I do think this is definitely something that's gonna be seen in the next week or so, into the first week of September. It's really what I'm looking at. All right. Let's look at ETH and then we'll wrap it up here. ETH looks like it's holding this area. It did actually breach this area of support here, which is kind of worrying, but it is actually hanging on to this previous area of support here, right where it's currently at. Actually, yeah, right there. Let's actually draw another line of support right here. Right, so it's actually respecting this area of support here. Also kind of in a, you know, shaping like a triangle here. Let's actually draw a trend line for the macro trend. This is very easy stuff right here. I'll tell you why. Okay, so here's what I want you guys to be looking at. Right, this is the area of resistance. This is trading 101. This is, now you also have to be careful, right? But we could potentially see a continuation of this area of resistance here. And actually, let's get rid of this for now. We could see this red line just continue to act as resistance, and then Ethereum continue to break down below it. But then eventually we're going to see a breakout here. As soon as you see a breakout of this red line, you can enter a trade, because it will likely be a breakout, right? And we could potentially come back and retest this area here at $2.35 to $2.34, right where this area of this red line area of resistance is coming in at, 231. That's where, you know, if I do decide, let's just say I do decide to enter a trade right around here, once we break out of this resistance line, my very first area where I will be de-risking out of that position will be $2.30, maybe $2.31 at the most. That's where I'm looking to de-risk. And then once we hit this area here, that's probably where I'm going to leave my position at that point. All right, not financial advice, but I mean, this is a very, very easy, just textbook, just super easy thing that you can trade on a breakout, right? This is the sort of thing a lot of people, this is what I don't, this is why it doesn't make any sense to me. A lot of people pay money for people to tell them this information. This is very, very simple stuff that you can just find anywhere online. You know, you don't have to pay anybody for this shit. You know, it's right here. Follow this line. Eventually it's going to break out, and then, you know, it's a sure trade. I mean, a lot of times, right? I mean, there's fake outs and then there's breakouts, right? So you still have to pay attention. If you are going to enter into something like that, like a breakout, make sure you can pay attention to it. Don't just, you know, buy in here and then think that it's automatically going to go up here. A lot of times it's a fake out and actually keeps coming back down. So either set yourself a stop loss, or which I don't recommend, or just, you know, if you're going to do that, just stay in the trade and stay vigilant. You know, keep your eyes on it. All right. So that is all I have for you guys. Again, if you got something out of this video, hopefully you did in exchange for your time, definitely leave it down below. Let me know what you guys are thinking. And also don't forget to hit the like button. Also hit the bell notification and the subscribe button. Do me a great favor. That would mean a lot to me. Shout out to Victor, who just signed up for the alerts. I did get a notification. So Victor, thank you so much for signing up to this channel. And I will continue to do shout outs for anybody that continues to sign up for my notifications. All right. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bit of a long video. Sorry about that. But again, hopefully you got something in return for your time. All right. I'll see you guys on the next one. The Real Shot 256 signing out. Later, guys.